Item number 6, amend the previously adopted resolve to install a bike lane on Lisbon Street from Spruce Street to near Main Street. Requested action, to consider and act upon the motion to amend the resolve to install a bike lane on Lisbon Street from Spruce Street to near Main Street.
Mr. Mayor, what this will do, if you look at the actual resolve itself, is it will, in effect, delete the bike lane from Lisbon Street and substitute Sharrow markings in its place.
So I'll move that.
Okay, so I have a motion.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Councilor Cayer, seconded by Councilor Libby. Any other, yes, Councilor Cayer.
So, we have plenty of time for it to go to referendum then if we wanted to. I mean, is that a sure thing that this project's going to be delayed anyway? I've seen other communities have these groups who truly change the dynamics of councils, they change the dynamics of how people perceive their city or their town, and I hope that doesn't happen in Lewiston. So I think I'm okay with the bike lanes, the turn lanes. I'm not going to be okay with reducing funding in other areas at this point, considering the project's already delayed anyway.
So the next council that comes in, if it isn't the same makeup, could turn around and undo this, and it could go anyway. If the people of Lewiston have the opportunity to voice in after 35 years of meandering and once and for all lay this down and say, here is what we want, any council in the future is going to have to pay close attention to that. So, well, I do appreciate what's going on with this petition and the discussions that have happened. I really feel that this is a chance to put this to the people and get that barometer and see what the read is. And that will direct what happens on Lisbon Street far better than any council, this one or the next one, or the next one. Going forward.
I don't think my opinion's changed on Lisbon Street at all. I think we've voted on this 2 or even 3 times now. So my comments are a matter of record. I think if the council can finally come together and make some of these changes, I think it's a good thing, and I'm not going to stand in the way of it. So.
Any other, yes?
Just only because of 2 comments recently. I mean, the Sharrow helps drivers and truck drivers and everybody recognize that there are bikes there. So it's not providing a separate bike lane, but it's helping the community be more accepting of the bikes on the road versus some feelings that they shouldn't be there.
I signed the petition in good faith. I didn't realize it was some sort of ploy or something to get everybody to change their mind. And I don't know where it's written that, you know, we're taking out this petition and we're holding the council hostage because if you don't do what we want, then, you know, we're just going to take it out to vote. That's not how it is. That's not why I signed it. I signed it because I don't want a bike path. I signed it because I want turning lanes. I signed it because I think the hourglass is not working. I didn't think it worked in the 80s either. I mean, it was pretty, but it doesn't work. This is not Portland. We need to cut those sidewalks back a little bit, widen the street, make it so people like me who are middle age and middle class want to go downtown to eat. I can park, I can eat, I can get my car and go. This is what has been called for years a Hamburg hot dog town, okay? How can we get it so that it's a win-win? How can we incorporate more people that are on Lisbon Street to actually be part of it so they're not hating each other on Facebook?
Call the roll.
Councilor from Ward 1?
Abstain.
Ward 2?
Yes.
Councilor of Ward 2 is a yes. Councilor of Ward 3?
Yes.
Ward 4?
Abstain.
Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Ward 7?
Abstain.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-0.
So the abstentions, that's okay?
Elected officials do not have to be compelled to vote. It's their personal choice to vote. The city charter says that items will pass need to pass by a minimum of 4 votes, 4 affirmative votes for anything to pass. That's written in our charter. So no one is compelled to have to cast a vote. It's their choice as an elected official.
Agenda item number 7.
Item number 7, amend the previously adopted resolve to establish a single through lane on Lisbon Street from Cedar to Pine and eliminate the turn lanes at Pine and Ash Streets.
So we should all abstain. I mean, we hear passionate conversations about turning lanes, but then we get abstentions.
Well, we
That-
heard-
So that's not compromise at all.
Right. We heard numerous complaints about counselors' inability to compromise at the last meeting on this topic. And we, the 4 of us here, Councilor Cayer, Councilor Cloutier, Councilor Dote, and myself, have all given significantly to address the concerns of other counselors, petitioners, members of the public. So I'm open to abstaining on this vote as well.
Right, let it go, because that, I mean, truly, we sat here and tried to negotiate things, and Councilor Bouchard drew a part of that. But then, at the last minute, when the vote comes, 3 abstentions. Doesn't make sense to
And
me.
we didn't vote against it. Nobody voted against it.
Yeah, but, yeah.
We voted for it 3 times
Mayor?
already.
I'm ready to,
Mr. Mayor? Thank you.
Yes.
I will just reiterate, I appreciate the work that's gone into this, the discussions between staff and the petitioner and some counselors. My personal opinion on this is this really should go to the public, and the public will set this straight. What the citizens of Lewiston decide will set a precedent that no council in the coming years will want to go against. We've gone one way, we've gone the other. At this point, the people of Lewiston deserve to have their voices heard, one way or another, finally, and that will answer any questions that remain. So, in my opinion, this is the golden opportunity to get the barometer on what the residents of Lewiston really want for Lisbon Street. Thank you.
Councilor Cayer.
So I'll remind you, though, you're the first council that ever brought that up. So at one point, it was okay to do that. We're elected officials. That means my ward has elected me to be here and make tough decisions. And there's a way for the public to, if they're not happy with the councilor's votes, then they're booted out of office. It's really that simple. So sometimes we have to make tough decisions up here with budgets. We shouldn't be encouraging things to constantly go out to referendum. And truly, a street design, I disagree with you. I think my ward has elected me here to make those type of decisions. And I've heard from people in my ward who are very supportive of this project.
If the council, I think by and large, wants an up or down vote, I'm willing to give an up or down vote on the rest of the issues.
That's because the one thing that's important to you is now the next vote, and you've pretty much set up the rest of the councilors. So you're sitting here saying it's important to you now, but the Cheryl was enough to abstain, so.
I don't think I've set anybody up. I said very plainly in the beginning I wasn't going to go against this, and I didn't.
Okay, I think it's a little time to cool off here, okay? We've had votes, we've lost one, we won another one, whatever, okay? Let's not start disintegrating because over a bike lane. We've done a lot of other things here. There's no need for this to go on. It sounds like little children fighting.
If the project can't go forward until next year anyway, why don't we do a non-binding referendum to the citizens and let them tell us which pieces they do or don't want? What is the harm in that? If you're so split. I don't think anybody's going to change their mind.
4 of us have changed our minds.
4 of us have come to the middle significantly on the 2 most important parts of this project.
I disagree. I think you changed your mind because there was a petition out there, and you feared that.
No?
Yes. I believe you feared the voters. It's happened when I was on the council. It's happened at other times.